medical records missing or complete. Now, in most instances, patient medical records are electronic and transfer between GPs via an electronic GP to GP file transfer upon successful registration at the practice. Now, PCSE move physical records directly from one GP to another, and we are responsible for the transfer of paper records only and not the content of those records. Now, PCSE don't add any information or remove any information from a paper record. Now, where a patient is not registered with a GP or is deceased, their records go into a physical central storage. So if a GP or GP practice notifies us of missing or incomplete records, we do have an established process that I'll run through with you now. Okay, so for missing records, a medical record can be classed as missing when a record cannot be found or is not available when required. A GP practice will contact PCSE to tell us that although the patient is registered and the GP to GP transfer has been successful, the patient's paper medical record has not been received. Now, once raised as a missing record, the PCSE team will conduct the following checks. So we'll check PCSE central storage just to confirm that we don't have those records on file. We'll check with NHS England and third-party storage facilities if the system indicates the record has been stored with an NHS third-party archivist. Examine record movements on the system and scan data from the courier to confirm CitySprint don't hold any part of the record within their network. And we'll contact all previous GPs that PCSE can identify to confirm that all the records have been released. Now, sometimes we locate multiple parts at different practices, and that would indicate that we would need to reconstruct the record. So we will reconstruct the record if the records cannot be located, and if the records are located, we'll facilitate the transfer of records to their GP. Now, we request the electronic records from the previous GP, but not all the previous GPs, as this would lead to a duplication of notes. Now, we send this to the current GP, and if the current GP advises those notes are incomplete, we will attempt to request further notes from other previous GPs. However, we may not be able to obtain notes from the previous GP. The previous GPs may have closed or have changed their electronic system and can no longer access the data. Now, in these instances, the current GPs are notified and advised to reconstruct the record based on the information that they do hold. If GPs don't respond to the missing records team, then this will be escalated to the ICB as per guidance from NHS England. Now, GPs are given 5 working days to respond, and then an additional 5 working days before it's escalated. Now, if you do receive a request from the PCSE missing records team, then please just respond as soon as possible, even if it is to advise that you can't find the record or you need a little bit more time. Now, when we are notified a record is located, we check the system to see if a label has been requested. If not, we will create the movement manually. And once the records have been collected, the current GP is notified that the records are found and in transit. Okay, so incomplete records. Now, an incomplete medical record means there is information missing from certain periods. Now, on occasion, a GP practice will contact PCSE stating that the record is incomplete and want to find the missing information. Now, when a GP practice contacts PCSE to say medical records is incomplete, we'll check the central storage that all records have been received and have been sent out to the current GP practice, and then we'll contact the last known data controller for the missing portion to forward onto the current GP practice. Now, if any records are found in central storage, then the record will be sent to the registered practice. If the portion of the incomplete record isn't found in central storage, PCSE will contact the last known GP practice for the missing notes, and if found, these will be forwarded to the current practice. Now, if the last known practice is closed, we will signpost the current practice to the relevant commissioner to ask them to assist in locating the missing portion of the notes. Now, if you do need to contact us with regards to an incomplete record, then we just ask that you use the PCSE online inquiry form.